But a lot of times I've seen this as growing up in Dubai real estate, I've seen a lot of times agents might fudge the truth. Sometimes some agents might actually even bend the truth. You don't have to lie to sell real estate in Dubai. Okay, this is not something new. I think most of you are not going to be shocked by this statement. You're going to be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Shouldn't be lying anyways, okay? But a lot of times I've seen this as growing up in Dubai real estate, I've seen a lot of times agents might fudge the truth. Sometimes some agents might actually even bend the truth. I personally think that you shouldn't have to lie. You should not lie. And I'm going to give you a few examples from my personal story, my early days, from my mentors, and how I learned from them, okay? Now, just to get the elephant and mention the elephant in the room, guys, look, some people might think about this video and might say, okay, well, you know, lying is a personal thing, and some people believe in lying, and, you know, maybe they're not religious or something. And I've got to say, like, look, while I personally speaking, might believe, and I tend to believe that people who are religious, so they believe in a supreme being and a supreme creator, generally hold themselves accountable. So they're not holding themselves accountable to their own selves, because they're human and we're human and we can and are imperfect. They're holding themselves accountable to a higher being, right? Which is the God who they believe is the creator, and they worship, and therefore they wish to follow the creator's rules. That's fine. Generally speaking, I think that people who follow a religion might, generally speaking, be more prone to not lie. But that's not always the case. We know this, right? So some religious people also lie, right? I don't want to get into that debate, but I want to say that some people, they're not religious. They also don't lie because they have a certain ethical set of values that they live by, they grew up with, their circumstances, what their parents taught them, books that they read, and they choose not to lie as well, right? Which is good. It's amazing. When you come into Dubai real estate, I think, and I hope that you would continue on that path. You don't have to lie. And I'll tell you why. Because every coin has two sides as well. So in Dubai, if you're coming into the Dubai market, you've got to recognize that all coins, all properties, all investment scenarios will generally have two sides to the coin. There's nothing that's absolutely risk-free at the end of the day. It's an investment, right? There's nothing that's a pure, sure shot, six or, out of the park kind of like home run. There's always risk associated as well. So when you're talking to investors, selling any property, you've always sometimes got to give them both sides, okay? Now, what I learned now, which I didn't know before, like 10 plus years ago when I was sitting with my mentor, and he said, what's wrong with you guys? You know, why can't you present things in a balanced way? Now what I realized is to not lie in Dubai real estate and still be able to serve your clients is a skill and a mastery in itself as well. Why? Because with skill and mastery and experience, you've got enough knowledge to be able to present both sides of the coin. I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody wants to buy a property in downtown. They're absolutely smitten by the views, Mohammed bin Rashid Boulevard, how beautiful it looks, Dubai Mall, Burj Khalifa. It looks great, right? Now, if they asked you and they said, look, we're ready to commit to downtown, that's fine. What do you think? You could obviously agree with them and say, ticks all the boxes, good investment, lots of people want to live over here, and good to go. But there is another side to the coin. Number one, there's one park. There's not a lot of green space in downtown. Agree, right? We all agree. Two, can there be some kind of a few traffic snick-ups sometimes? New Year's Eve, on Eid, I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but it's there, right? It's something there, right? Number three, if you're buying in downtown, you've got to know that the entire infrastructure, the area is fully developed, which means that prices are matured. They are going to go up potentially, like real estate generally does, but you are today paying premiums on the property that was bought 5, 6, 7 years ago by somebody else. And if it's changed hands 3, 4 times, and every time each time every seller who sold it to the other person made a little bit of money. So let's say a property was bought for 1 million, sold for 1.2, then again sold for 1.4, then again sold for 1.6. The original value was 1 million, which is irrelevant. But you now paying the premium of every time it changed hands, and now you're going to be the fifth or fourth owner. Guess what? You're paying $1 million. You're paying twice the amount of money that it was bought for. Now, does that mean it's a bad No. You're still okay, because that's the market price today, right? You can't say, oh, but you can always say, I wish, or you can tell your investor, we wish you had bought in 2004, but then the whole place was empty. You wouldn't have had the sense to understand where the vision of Dubai was going, or you wouldn't have the belief at that time. Now, today, you have the belief because everything's built, right? But trust me, like even now, sometimes people go to people and they say, oh, what if Dubai, what is going on? All of the people living, and we're like, relax, chill, man. Chill. So not to lie is also a skill set. And this is how you would present. Like even if somebody would say, I'm just hell-bent on buying in downtown, you can always present them to the argument that why they might not even consider buying downtown. Because then if they listen to your argument and they say, no, I still want to buy in downtown, then they made a decision on the balance of what they liked better. And that's fine. Alhamdulillah. We wish them the best and we say, Alhamdulillah, Allah tawakkaltu Allahi, which means place your reliance in Allah, the Creator, for guess what? The best results. Bismillah. Yeah? Try not to lie, right? Yalla. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bye.